Hey everybody, it's Retro DM Ray. Hey, I'm back with you on the channel to do a cool review for my friends at the Old Warlock Channel. They've got their Kickstarter up and running today for their cool item called the Deck of Contradiction. So I thought I would show it to you today and just showcase a card and kind of how it works. They did tell me that the inspiration for this was the old Deck of Many Things from the first edition Dungeon Master's Guide, was just kind of their inspiration. And so I thought I'd kind of showcase this for them today. I would encourage you to go and check out their Kickstarter. I'll put that in the description of the video as a link to that. I'd encourage you to go and support them on their channel and this project. It's just really awesome. And I want to thank them all for the opportunity to have the cards and the deck here early to take a look at for you guys. So what you would do is your players would find this item or be gifted this item, or however you wanted to work it out in your campaign. And there is a lot of information here in this book, in the Chronicles, for this Wandering Elephant Expedition Company, that comes with the Kickstarter, that tells the history and the research on the item, some ways that you can interact with it in your game world. So I would encourage you to check that out from Alebuck's Arcane Emporium is what this says it was retrieved from. I'm not going to go into detail about that for you because I'm going to ask you to go and check out their Kickstarter and support them on that to be able to do that. But I did want to showcase the cards, the dice, and in particular one draw that I'm going to have from the cards for them. So here we go. So your character might actually find the items, they might find the deck, and they might decide to take a chance and draw 3 cards. So here's the 3 cards that I've drawn randomly from the pile. And then I would survey over them as my character, and I'd turn one over. Turns out the card that I get is called The Voice. Some cool artwork there. And here's what the book says about the card, The Voice. The player drawing this card has one item in his or her possession, at the GM's discretion, that gains sentience, clairvoyance, and the ability to communicate telepathically with the player. All powers of the item are doubled. It can also speak aloud for 1 hour every other day, sounding exactly like the player. That's interesting. But the now sentient item has a 25% chance of taking the opposite concept of right and wrong from its owner on any subject, and will continuously attempt to thwart any actions by the player related to that subject if the percentage chance is rolled. The sentient item can only be disposed of with a wish. Ouch. Tell the player, item X in your possession is now sentient and can communicate with you telepathically. The item also operates at twice its normal strength. Then, the item will slowly begin to tell the player when it does not agree with certain actions they have taken. If the player does not adjust their behavior to accommodate the item, it will begin to disrupt the player's course of action. So you could leave it at that. That is really cool. Man, what some creative ideas you could come up with there. Some nasty little evil GM tricks that you could pull on the player. Some fun that could be had by the player with the item. I think it's cool. In particular, this picture here shows a backpack. I think that would just be really hilarious. That the item would actually have twice its normal strength. So maybe this backpack would all of a sudden turn into maybe a like the old Heward's handy haversack, if you remember that from old school, or something like that. But in turn, it would also maybe have a partial eyes and face, like is here in the picture, and become sentient, which would be pretty annoying and pretty fun. You also have an additional mechanic that you can do here with the Deck of Contradiction to make it a little more deadly or interesting, and it's this skull die. So you see that skull die there, which matches the emblem here on the Deck of Contradiction, okay? And so once you draw, then the player could choose to take it even further, or the GM, or both in collaboration, could roll this die. So, of course, they're going to roll the die, and they're going to get a 5. So in the back of the main book here, you have a section called the skull die. So what you would do is you would look down on the list and you would say, in addition to the draw, this is the additional result, or this is the additional problem or situation or creativity. Number 5, allows the player to assign any card he or she has drawn to another player, or to any non-player character accompanying the player in the current campaign. So in this case, with this roll of the skull die, you could have that player off that card to some other player around the table, which could be both fun and or annoying. Or they could even give it to like a henchman or hireling or some other non-player character that's accompanying them for whatever reason in your current campaign. I think that adds a little fun, kind of creative, kind of a snarky, almost evil side effect to that, which I think could be kind of fun in the game. But I just think that the card itself, adding to that card with the skull die, would be kind of fun. But I really, really think that this product is just really, really cool and really, really fun for your table. If you're running out of ideas as to what to do in your game, or a way to spice it up or change it up or mix it up, and you don't want to take prep time, or you don't have the prep time, or maybe you just want to do it just for sheer fun, I would encourage you to check out this deck of Contradiction by the Old Warlock. Again, I'll put that in the description, as well as I'll put in the description what I normally do, which is to support me on Ko-Fi, or buy me a coffee, in other words, and to check out other videos on my channel. Give me a like, a share, and a subscribe. I really appreciate that. And thanks again to Jim and Alex and all of the Old Warlock crew for the opportunity to review this for you guys early. I really appreciate it. It's pretty awesome. All right, thanks. Take care, prosper, and good gaming. Later.